Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we got a bunch of brand new stuff. Look at this like a MegaZord looking thing. And on top of that, we have a brand new archetype called the Manadomes. And we got new ace support, which is actually really cool. So anyways, I want to kick it off with the brand new Manadome archetypes. These are all coming out in SciAc, but this is basically 2023 for us in the TCG. So let's start off with the Manadome Heart. So this is a brand new archetype, level 4 light warrior effect monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense points. And it says you can only use one of the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of the effect is if this card is in the hand during the main phase. As a quick effect, you can target one Manadome monster or one monster with 1500 attack / 2100 defense points you control. Destroy that monster, and if you do, special summon this card. Second part is if this card is normal or special summon, you get to add one Manadome card from your deck to your hand. Okay, so I guess as a quick effect, you get a special summon. So that really allows you to just pop certain things. Now, what's interesting with the archetype, it's one Manadome or a monster with this specific stat. I don't know what archetypes also work with this, but if you could pop scraps, this could be actually a pretty big I think a bonus. Although I'm gonna have to double check if you missed the timing on any of these specific cards. Next up, though, we have the Manadome Hearless. So level 2 Earth Fairy Tuner effect monster, 0 attack, 2000 defense points. Oh, so they're not all part of the stat. Okay, that's interesting. So anyways, yeah, 2000 defense. You can special summon this card by the procedure of its first effect once per turn. So the first part is you can control a Vista Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense points. You get to special summon this card from your hand. The second part is if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you just special summon one Manadome Hearless from your deck. Also, during the battle phase of this turn, this effect is activated. Synchro monsters you control gain 500 attack. Oh, so it's a brand new synchro, looks like, because I know one of the boss monsters is synchro for the archetype. Next up, though, we have Manadome Meek. And what's cool with these, I don't know if any of you guys saw from the artwork, every single one of these cards is inside some sort of like dome of like what's probably mana. Next up, though, we have a level 2 Water Fairy Tuner effect, Manadome Meek. So 0 attack, 1800 defense points. You can only special summon this card by the procedure of its first effect once per turn. So the first part is you control Vista Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack and 21 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand. Second part is if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you special summon one Manadome Meek from your deck. Then you can increase the level of the monster special summon by this effect by 2. Okay, so it resummons itself, so it goes into a level 4. So you have a 4, a 2, and another 4. Okay, so this is their synchro. This is the one of the boss monsters of the deck, Manadome Prime Heart. So let's check out this boss monster's artwork. So 3000 attack, 3000 defense points, level 10 light fairy synchro effect monster. Its materials are 1+ tuners plus 1 light monster. And it says that it can attack a number of times each battle phase equal to the number of tuners used as material. And this one is a tuner, and is the other one tuner? Okay, so it's you just go for a 2. Oh, this one can be increased, so you go 4, 2, and then you have another 4. Okay, so more like that's going to be maybe 2 tuners, so potentially consistently maybe 2 attacks. Obviously, it can go up more, but second part of the fact is this synchro summon, this card synchro summon using Manadome tuners as materials can't be targeted by your opponent's effects. So a 3000 can't be targeted. Oh, it's not too bad tax-wise. Still pretty mediocre. The third part, though, is if this face-up synchro summon card leaves the field due to your opponent, you can special summon one Vista Starfrost or one monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense points from your graveyard or among your banished monsters. Now, this could be pretty interesting as well for maybe other archetypes because it is technically a generic monster here in terms of the requirements. This effect might be actually pretty decent. I wish it was just if this card leaves the field, then we're looking at something a little bit better. But on top of that, I don't know if I would consider this a super insanely powerful boss monster. But let's see what else they've got. Next up, we have Manadome Imagining. So it's a normal spell card that says you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is to reveal a Manadome monster or one Vista Starfrost in your hand to draw 2 cards. Then return 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. It's pretty good draw power, though. Next up, you can banish the card from your graveyard and target one monster control at 1500 attack and 21 defense. That monster is treated as a tuner until the end of the turn. Okay, I mean, that's any monster. Okay, that's really good. and is treated as a tuner, but more likely you want to use the Manadome tuners as material, so it can't be targeted. But I mean, if you're attacking twice, you're usually just going to go for game, so at that point you're more likely going to have like a blank board. But I mean, it has a decent amount of ability to search, but no like negate and destroy, which is like the common theme in a lot of new Yu-Gi-Oh archetypes. If it doesn't have those, I see you guys in the comments. You guys always say 2 out of 10 wouldn't want to play the deck, right? But yeah, it doesn't look like this is going to destroy the current meta, at least as right now. Next up though, we're not done though. Maybe they'll have some broken card. Maybe they'll get a Spellbook of Judgment. Manadome Asbicium. So it's a normal spell card, and its effect is you can only use 1 and 2 of the effects of this card's name once per turn each. So the first part is target 1 monster you control, destroy. And if you add 1 Primal Planet Calarium from your deck to your hand, or if you control Primal Planet Calarium, you get to add 1 Manadome spell or trap to your hand, except for Manadome Asbicium. Except Manadome Asbicium instead. Okay. Next up, the second part is you can banish the card from your graveyard to special 1 Abyssal Starfrost or 1 monster with 1500 attack and defense from your hand. Okay, if it was from the deck, this would be actually a pretty cool effect. Okay, so this is the Primal Planet Calarium. This is the field spell. So it's a field spell that says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn, and you can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is when this card resolves, you get to add 1 Manadome monster or Abyssal Starfrost from your deck to your hand. Hey, this effect already really, really good. Abyssal Starfrost is actually a pretty good card. Second part is second part says light monsters you control gain 100 attack for each tuner you control and in the graveyard. I mean, like 3,200. That's like really mediocre. Third part is if a face-up tuner monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 of those monsters and special summon it. Huh. So if they're destroyed, you get to just re-bring it back for free? The same one? Huh. That's a very, very interesting effect. Next up, though, we have Manadome Breakheart, which is a normal trap card that says you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. The first part is target 1 tuner or 1 synchro monster in your graveyard to special summon it. Ooh, okay. Then, if you special summon a light monster with this effect, you can destroy 1 monster opponent controls with equal or lower attack than that monster. Okay. Second part is if a Abyssal Starfrost or a monster you control with 1500 attack and 2100 defense would be destroyed by battle by card effect, you can banish this card from your side. If this card effect at least protected the other, like the boss synchro, maybe, but like, yeah, you're gonna bring back the synchro and maybe pop something, but trap cards in Yu-Gi-Oh are really outdated for the most part. You draw them, your opponent pops off where you set, and they just negate. Oh, well, I don't have anything that I made for a synchro. I lose, right? And that's the big problem I see already with this archetype. But hold on, we're not done. We got 1 more card for them, and then we got more cards. So Manadome Reframing is a counter trap card that says you can only use first and second effects of this card's name once per turn each. So the first part is when a spell or trap or monster effect is activated while you control a synchro monster, that's any synchro monster, negate the activation. Then, if there's a Abyssal Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack and defense in your graveyard, in your field or graveyard, you can destroy that negated. So it just negates the activation. The destroying card, you're going to have that requirement. So not super splashable. Second part is you can banish a card from your graveyard and target 3 Manadome monsters in your graveyard and return them to the deck. If at least you got to return them to the deck and then draw 2 cards, then we'd be looking at something okay. I think that the whole archetype very underwhelming, at least in terms of first impressions. I'm curious to know what you guys think of, but we're not done yet. We got more cards coming out. Amazing Defender support. So first off, Puri. Wow, this is the EV archetype, by the way. They're getting some more support as well. Level 1 Dark Fairy effect monster, 100 attack, 100 defense points, says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part is if this card is normal or special, you get to add 1 Puri card from your deck to your hand, except for a quick play spell. The second part is you can target 1 Puri quick play spell in your graveyard to special summon 1 Xyz monster that mentions it from your extra deck by using this card as material. And if you do, attach that target to the summoned monster as additional material. This is treated as Xyz. So, okay, not too bad for them in terms of the archetype. Oh, I thought I said, it's Fury, not Furry. So we have an actual furry archetype. This is Fury, the Orb of Mikanko. Oh, so Mikanko stuff. Okay, so level 3 Wind Psychic effect, 0/0. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. First part of the effect is if this card is not equipped with any equipped card, you take no battle damage from battles involving. If it is, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, your opponent takes any battle damage you would take from battles involving instead. Second part is your opponent can't target Mikanko cards you control with card effect while you control any equipped card. The third part is if this card becomes equipped with an equipped card, you get to add a Mikanko trap from your deck to your hand. I haven't really seen Mikankos in a long time see any play, but we did drop gameplay of it, so it's cool that they're actually getting some apart. So a purely sleepy memory, we have as a brand new quick play spell card. Apply this effect, then you get to discard 1 card. If you do special summon 1 level 1 purely monster from your deck, once applied, the next battle or effect damage you take this turn becomes 0. Okay, not too bad. And then the second part is a purely exceed monster that has this card as material gains this effect. Once per turn during your opponent's standby phase, you can draw 1 card. Okay, and that's a quick play. Next up, though, we have a Mikanko equip called Dance of the Mikanko Fascinating Bird, which is an equip spell card that says you can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. First part is the equipped monster can't be destroyed by card effects. Second part is if your Mikanko monster battles, at the end of the damage step, you get to target 1 card on the field and return it to the hand. The third part is if this card is in your graveyard, you get to target a Mikanko monster in your graveyard to special summon it, and if you do equip it with this card, also banish that monster when it leaves the field. Alright, so here's the new Ace card. So Reinforce, so it's always treated as a Rescue Ace card. I believe that's the machine archetype. So it says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is target 1 Rescue Ace monster you control until the end of this turn, gains 1500 attack and defense, and is unaffected by your opponent's monster effects. Also, the next time it will be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed. The second part is you can banish a card from your graveyard and then target 1 Rescue Ace spell in your graveyard and set it to the field. So if I remember correct, like the Rescue Ace archetype was all about like you could just set like 5 from your deck, right? Hold on, I gotta double check on this and then we still got more cards to check out. So most importantly, I mean, yeah, the Rescue Ace, I remember when it first came out, people were playing it for like the first 2 days like crazy. It's one of the cards, is it their like boss monster? One of the boss monster like lets you set, yeah, okay, this card is insane. Like in terms of any Yu-Gi-Oh card, this one, it lets you banish 2 to special summon it. And then during your main phase, you get to set 4 Rescue Ace quick place spells and or traps with different names from your deck. And they didn't have that many targets before. I forgot all their effects on it. But for the most part, I mean, being able to just get any extra card and that could protect it, it gives it extra stats. And what was the stats on that card already? That was their boss monster, making it 4,500, and it makes it so it cannot be destroyed by battle. I wish it could, and it's also unaffected by your opponent's monster effects. I wish it was just like untargetable and it could not be destroyed. That would make it a little bit better, but at least they have another target to go for, so maybe it'll see a little bit more play with this brand new support. Let me know, guys, what your thoughts are on it. So here we finally got the new MegaZord looking thing. I mean, look at this. It's got some giant sword. It's got so many. What are these monsters attached to it? Someone knows. Let me know. But it almost looks like the face almost looks like it's BLS. It's probably Vista Starfrost and a bunch of other monsters. Heck, the sword looks like it's got like a dragon head on it. Yeah, it's definitely a Megazord looking thing. So this is Vicious Alstra, which is a new Dark Fairy Fusion effect, level 8, 3000, 3000. It requires Vista Starfrost plus 1 monster with 1500 attack and 21 defense. So very specific, but it is, I mean, you're super poly, right? It must be special summoned by banishing the above cards from your field and or graveyard. Oh, that's pretty nice. Second part is if this card is special summoned, you get to target 1 other monster in the field, destroy it, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to the half of the destroyed monster's original attack or defense, whichever is higher, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. I mean, if you get a monster, okay, so if you happen to use your opponent's monster, which I don't know, I mean, it's a very specific number. I'm not sure if there's any like meta cards off the top of my head that have this exact stat, other than, of course, I guess we have the Manadomes, right? But they're going to more likely go into the Synchro. So if you can pop something, right? So you use one of your opponent's monster material, this comes out, it pops something, and it can potentially have, you know, maybe like 4,000 or 5,000 attack. I mean, if it could attack twice, maybe, but I'd still say that maybe it's a super poly target against certain matchups. It could be kind of nice, but nonetheless, I think it's kind of weak, especially for it like looking like such an insane boss monster. But the summon requirement is not that difficult. But anyways, monster that can fuse. Oh, so the Scareclaw, TR Elements, Reno Heart, Rise Heart, Infinite Track, Drag Shovel, Wind Up, Zen Maze. That card's banned, mate. But hey, maybe this is just a hint on the next ban list, right? All right, so cash tiers are getting some more support. So Extra is a quick play spell card that says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part is a face-up cash tira. Excuse monster you control is destroyed battle by card effect. You banish 1 Vicious Starfrost from your hand, deck, or field. And if you do, special summon 1 Vicious Asteroid from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. What the heck? I mean, you obviously have to have this to activate, but like the fact that you can just bust this card out, and this is anytime it's special summoned, not just by like fusion. That's pretty cool. If this card becomes banished, target 1 of your banished Vista Starfrost and add to it. Well, the fact that you can just banish it from anywhere, that's kind of cool. I don't know if people will actually be using it, but I think it's interesting. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on any of the brand new things we talked about, the Manadomes and stuff. Are they going to be meta? Do you guys think they're trash? I think Manadome, honestly, a little bit underwhelming, but they're reinforced. Maybe we'll see some aces come back into the game. But if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it if you're new here, so you don't miss out on more new Yu-Gi-Oh stuff in the future. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the bell notification on, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. I'm out. Peace.